The NFL draft is just under 4 days away. We will be live on this channel. It's a very tiresome and exciting time of year, but the topic of this video is Jameson Williams. Now, we have 9 days remaining until the deadline for the 2022 first-round draft class for their fifth-year options to be picked up. And leading into this point, there was only a handful of guys that were either traded and or their fifth-year option picked up by just outright or virtue of an extension. And it looks like we are still waiting on Jameson Williams. Now, to put things in perspective, Aiden Hutchinson, who was the second overall pick, we're still waiting on his fifth-year extension as well. The Detroit Lions are probably trying to extend Hutch, and that's going to have a trickle-down effect. So that could be the reason that there's a little delay on Jameson Williams' fifth-year option being picked up, or it could be something else. Now, we've discussed already that Jameson Williams, his name has been floating around as a potential trade candidate. And I think that there is some validity to this, whether or not we accept it or we want to believe it or we even agree with it. Jameson Williams, discussions about him being traded, I think is a real possibility. But why is this a thing? Well, according to Adam Schefter, the Jets decided to pick up their fifth-year options of all three of their first-round picks in 2022. Sauce Gardner was picked fourth overall. Then you had Garrett Wilson and then Jermaine Johnson, who was chosen 26th overall in the 2022 NFL Draft. So that would be, I would say, maybe a quarter, if that, a little bit more of players that were drafted in the first round in 2022. Their fifth-year options have been picked up or they've been traded. But again, Jameson Williams is in the same boat as Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden is probably going to get an extension, but what's going on with J-Mo? Now, we talked about the rumor mill floating around that Jameson Williams could be traded, and here's what Albert Breer had to say. You got Adam Schefter and Albert Breer. This is coming from SI.com, says what you need to know. Obviously, this is a roster that's in really good shape, allowing for the Lions to target certain needs, and the defensive line is very much one to keep an eye on. Certainly, finding a bookend to Aiden Hutchinson has been a focus for a while for Dan Campbell and general manager Brad Holmes. I hope that he is right. But I've heard more about their search for a defensive tackle. Well. So much for Roderick Martin. Within a deep class that should give them options. It makes sense. Aleem McNeil is coming back off a torn ACL. Levi Onwuzurike is on a one-year deal. And DJ Reader isn't getting any younger. Here's the point. Receivers, another spot to consider, with a fifth-year option decision coming on Jameson Williams, and some in NFL circles believe he could be traded. So that's the end of that right there. I know we might not want to accept this. But we might have to. Again, no need to freak out or panic because at least 50% of the people that were drafted in the first round in 2022, their fifth-year options have not been picked up, Hutch being one of them. So there's not a reason to freak out. But as the days continue to pass, we've got 72 hours before the NFL draft. And then after that, when that's over, we'll have April 27th, 8th, 9th, and 30th. We'll have 4 days in order for Jameson Williams' fifth-year option to be picked up. Now, the deadline is the 1st, so I would assume, I did not look at the NFL operations, but I would assume it has to be probably somewhere between noon and 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time or maybe Pacific Time for that paperwork to be in saying that they've extended Jameson Williams. So while we still have a ton of time, I'm wondering what the deal is. At any minute, again, this video could be irrelevant right after I release it, or it could linger on for a few. But every time Jameson Williams, something new comes up, then we're going to talk about it. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think that the Detroit Lions are going to extend Jameson Williams? What do you think the holdup is? Or do you think he's going to be traded? I told you this in in a previous video. If we're bringing in first-round talent wide receivers as part of top 30 visits, that tells you something. We have a first-round talent on our team at wide receiver who is going into his 4th year with a 5th-year option that is yet to be picked up. So If what I think the Lions are doing, I don't think we're going to hear about it until after the NFL draft. If I'm being real with you, which I always do, I think that the Lions could be eyeing a wide receiver in the NFL draft, and what happens at the NFL draft will dictate what they decide to do with Jameson Williams. Let's be real. If Brad Holmes moves on from J-Mo, I would be surprised if Brad does not pick up his fifth-year option, because Brad Holmes loved Jameson. I think like Jameson Williams is his favorite pick. He loves Jameson Williams. For him to be ready to move on and not even give him a fifth-year option, that would be surprising. But another guy, Kayvon Thibodeaux, his fifth-year option has not been claimed as well. Any of these players can still be dealt with after the NFL draft passes. So we'll see what's going on there. Two guys that we've been hearing about their names being traded. So we shall see. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Ridge Wallet is having a sale. You can get the Ridge Wallet, the Detroit Lions version. I would have never bought one if they wouldn't have come up with NFL teams. I just never would have thought that I liked it. I used to use the foldable boy, and I had way too much stuff. Look, I've emptied this out. And I still got, this was in, look, all of this stuff was in my wallet. My bus driver card. I mean, just stuff all over the place. Stuff I don't even use. And look at this. So this is what was in my wallet along with all of these cards in here. And this here is fantastic. Also, you have the money clip option that you can interchange. It comes by default with the strap, but you can also change it out very easy and put the money clip on there. I like this one a bit better. Now, you might see some things added to this, all right? But let me know your thoughts on Jameson Williams. What would you like the Detroit Lions to do? I think it would only make sense to pick up his fifth-year option. I mean, you can still trade him later if need be. You could trade him after the NFL. But the fact that, I don't know, man, I think it's something to keep an eye on. Again, by the time you see this video, this could be a moot point, or you know, maybe maybe it winds up being a reality that Jameson Williams gets traded. What I will say is, don't put it past. If you hear these rumblings, do not just cast it aside. It is some truth. I 100% believe that. I do. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. We've got the NFL draft. Myself and Spirit of Detroit podcast will be on day one. Hopefully the Dern, who's dealing with something, he might be able to join us later. Trying to see if another guy can join as well. We're going to have boots on the ground. There's going to be a subscriber there that is traveling. Shout out to David Lyons. He will be in Green Bay. He said, listen, I'll be boots on the ground. If you need me to report something back, I got you. So we're gonna have him call in and give us his thoughts of the NFL draft. We are going to have a good time. It is a very exciting time to be a football fan. It's long, it's tiring, but it is exciting. So come out and join us for that. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.